I'm Dorothy Godin, broker 3 Max Crown Realty, and welcome to Thursday Thoughts. Well, I hope you're all enjoying August and the last few weeks of summer. I know that my family and I certainly have been. I wanted to talk about what's coming down the pipeline with title insurance. So, as many of you know, and if you purchased in the last I guess 10, 15 years, you probably purchased title insurance when you bought your house, and title insurance covers the bank to make sure that if something happens, they can have clear title. But it also covered other things like permits and zoning. Now, we have had an issue in Sudbury in that we have been number one or number two claims capital. So, because we have many, many claims, title insurance through the years have reduced what they will cover. And as of August 24th, they are saying they will no longer cover permit issues or zoning issues, and they will cap everything else at $10,000. To me, it makes me wonder why we even have it then, if that's going to be the case. But that's neither here nor there, and that's something that as a buyer you would have to talk to your lawyer about. But the problem is going to be, let's just talk about permits because that's a big issue here in Sudbury. So now if you're buying beyond this and your closing is past August 24th, your title insurance will not cover permits and other things, but let's just stick to permits. So that means that your lawyer will be doing the searches to determine whether or not permits were taken out or if there's any open permits, where in the years prior, when you had title insurance, lawyers stopped doing searches because they had title insurance that would cover any of those issues that maybe came up afterwards. So because they're not going to be covering permit issues or other issues, and they're capping at $10,000, you're going to now see lawyers doing all these searches, which will add to the cost of buying, and also will bring up a can of worms because prior to title insurance coming in, all the lawyers did all the searches, and we knew what was happening, and issues would come up well before closing. You have to imagine now that we're going to start doing these searches, but we haven't been doing them for 10, 15, if not more. Like, we haven't been doing these searches. So if you purchased 10 years ago, you have title insurance and your lawyer didn't do the searches, but now you're selling your house and that buyer's lawyer now is doing those searches, and items may come up that you're not even aware of. And this is going to be our big problem, that now that we're doing searches, there's a whole group of people who bought in the last many years who are not even aware that they have permit issues or zoning issues. So it's going to open a can of worms in that all of these surprises are going to be coming up. Now, as a seller, my belief is that if you know you did some renovations and maybe you should have gotten a permit, it's best to disclose and just be upfront with any buyer and letting them know that, by the way, we put this fence up or we put this pool in and we didn't get a permit. And that way, at least the buyer's going in with the knowledge already that, we've disclosed that there's no permit for this item and we're okay with that. Um, a lot of people in Sudbury, seem to be unaware that permits are actually needed for many things, and other people just don't want to get them because, as we know, it would trigger something with impact, and your assessment will go up if you decide to put a detached garage on your property. You know that your taxes are probably going to go up, and that's why a lot of people avoid getting permits. But now that we have this issue with title insurance and more searches are going to be done, I can guarantee it's going to be quite a problem. So you want to make sure as a buyer that you're getting your lawyer to do their searches very quickly, not waiting till the last minute, but get your documents to the lawyer right away and get the searches done as quick as possible so that when issues come up, we can deal with them. In the past, what I found, because the market is so tight and there's such a lack of listings, that many buyers will accept minor things that don't have permits and will take on that risk. With the market getting a little bit softer, we are up to, I believe, 20. The average days on the market right now is 20 days. So, and we're talking in the office that, it's not as busy as it used to be. We're getting more listings. So we're not in a balanced market by any means, but certainly people who expected to get, multiple offers are not getting multiple offers. Right now, we're sitting about 59% of everything is getting at or above list price. And on average, we're seeing like 3 or 4% above list price. But it's not happening for everyone. We see a lot of reductions too. So whether or not buyers are going to accept a property and close on a property that doesn't have a permit for something major is yet to be seen. And it's really something that you have to discuss with your lawyer. But just know that, moving forward, this is what's going to be happening. So as a seller, we sometimes think, well, let's do the search and make sure that, there are permits for everything and that permits are closed. And I remember one incident where we did a pre-search and the seller found out that a permit that was taken out was not properly closed, and they were able to close that very quickly and close. The closing was not delayed. The problem with doing a search as a seller is now you trigger with the city that you have this pool and there's no permit, and now are they going to want you to update it and bring it up to today's codes? Same goes for decks and fences and whatnot. We're not sure what kind of can of worms that's going to open. So it's yet to be seen. I know that lawyers are talking about it, and it is going to be our reality, though, that we are going to have to deal with all of these issues when we now are doing all these searches. As I say, the market feels a little bit slower, a little bit softer, but average sale price is still really great. And average days on the market being 20 days is still pretty good. Anyways, I hope you're having a great summer. As always, you can reach me at Dorothy Godin at remax.net or 705-561-2360. Have a great week.